After being at the center of a contract dispute in recent weeks that involved both McLaren and Alpine, Piastri will make his F1 debut with McLaren next season. Red Bull boss Christian Horner has revealed how the Formula One giant missed out on the chance to sign talented Australian driver Oscar Piastri. This is a move that Horner says he still regrets making. Why the regret from Horner? Do you want to find out? Stay tuned. Piastri had a successful run in Alpine's junior levels while he was a member of the team's academy. However, it was found that Alpine did not have a legitimate contract in place with him for an F1 drive in 2023. The drama was the subject of the most recent discussion in Formula One over the course of the summer, with Horner having stated in the past that there was something not right with Piastri not having a permanent driving position with Alpine. During the most recent episode of F1's Beyond the Grid podcast, Christian Horner stated that it was difficult for him to comment on Piastri's situation, but that contracts would have been watertight had he been under Red Bull's wing. This was something that there was a chance for a few years ago before he moved up to Formula 3. However, Horner said that he did not take advantage of this opportunity. Horner said he drove for the Ardent team in Formula 4 and Formula Renault, and was obviously a significant talent. There was an opportunity for Red Bull to look at him at the time, and we didn't take up that option, which is something that I regret. But what he went on to achieve is phenomenal in Formula 3 and Formula 2. Now, if he'd had been a driver here, there is no way that he wouldn't have been under lock and key for a period in time. As I say, I wasn't partying. It's difficult to judge what was promised or reneged on or so on, but certainly it was unexpected, probably from several areas. During 2017 and 2018, Piastri competed in the British Formula 4 Championship and the Formula Renault Euro Cup for Ardent, the junior racing team that Horner established. Prior to his back-to-back F3 and F2 championship titles, he eventually enrolled in Renault's academy at the beginning of 2020. According to Horner, the aftermath of Fernando Alonso's decision to leave Alpine for Aston Martin in 2023 produced that ripple that flowed out across multiple seats, one of which is now Red Bull's sister squad AlphaTauri. After suffering a defeat in the contract fight to keep Piastri for 2023, Alpine has shifted its focus to the pursuit of signing Pierre Gasly, who is currently driving for AlphaTauri. Gasly's release from Red Bull is contingent on the team already having a substitute driver secured. Red Bull's intention to sign IndyCar driver Colton Herta was scrapped after the FIA refused to give an exemption for a super license. However, Nick de Vries has surfaced as a possibility for the seat, so the team may still try to sign him. Everyone has high expectations about Piastri, but does Piastri have what it takes to become a formidable F1 driver in years to come? Was McLaren the right choice? Oscar Piastri will make his Formula One debut with McLaren, which will be a difficult task for a number of reasons. He's replacing Daniel Ricciardo, who struggled to get to grips with a car that was repeatedly described as unusual. Also, McLaren have serious ambitions, which means Piastri will need to perform at a high level very quickly. It's a daunting situation to race as a rookie. Not that long ago, McLaren didn't have the best reputation for handling that. During the last 10 years, McLaren has used the services of 3 rookie drivers. This is how well they did overall. Kevin Magnussen, 2014. Magnussen couldn't have had a better debut in Formula One, finishing 3rd on the road in his first race and then moving up to 2nd after Daniel Ricciardo was disqualified from the Australian Grand Prix. Magnussen had a successful season for McLaren despite the team having a challenging year. There were some close calls along the way, and he had some difficulty in the final third of the season in comparison to his teammate Jenson Button, except for an excellent effort that took him to 5th place in Sochi. If things had been different, it is quite likely that he would have kept his drive. Magnussen was relegated to the role of reserve driver after McLaren went all out to re-sign Fernando Alonso in 2015, despite the fact that Button showed his value by having a successful second half of the year. Stoffel Van Dorn, 2017. Van Dorn's first full season was difficult the year after he made a name for himself by performing well during a one-off appearance in Bahrain in 2016 while filling in for Alonso. But things turned around after he had a rough start, averaging 0.6 slower than Alonso. The team committed much effort to modify his driving style to better fit the car, This typically meant making a small concession on the corner entry to maximize speed both through and after the turn. Because of this, his performance, particularly in qualifying, improved significantly. Although his race pace was not quite as strong as his teammates, he finished the year having outqualified Alonso 3 times with an average deficit of 0.2%. In the end, he finished the year with 3 points finishes and a top result of 7th position twice, although he was only 4 points behind teammate Alonso. However, his progress over the course of the year was more than sufficient to persuade McLaren to continue working with him. Lando Norris, 2019. Norris got off to a strong start in his rookie season with a Q3 appearance in Australia and earning his first point with a 6th place finish in Bahrain. That established a solid groundwork for the subsequent campaign. During his first season, he had a lot of terrible luck, but as the season progressed, he found it increasingly difficult to compete against teammate Carlos Sainz in qualifying. His first season was full of bad luck. There were also a few mistakes, including some first lap misjudgments, but nothing more than you would expect from a driver in his rookie season. And considering the challenges of adjusting to the requirements of McLaren, it was remarkable for Norris to be able to slip in and guarantee that his future was never truly in doubt. He finished the season with 52 points, compared to 95 points for Sainz. So, what should we expect from Piastri? Piastri should do well in the McLaren setting. During his time in Alpine's training program, he has demonstrated that he is both intelligent and hardworking, and dedicated to gaining as much knowledge as possible. It is remarkable how diligent he has been, and it has paid off for him in terms of how far he has come as a driver in Formula 3 and Formula 2. McLaren has stated that he is the ideal fit for the team in terms of talent and personality. McLaren team boss Andreas Seidel said, "We wanted to have him on board. He wanted to be with us, so we're very happy. The way we got to know him, we're absolutely convinced about his talent and about his potential as well. He's young, he's full of energy, he has the right amount of self-confidence as well." Piastri, in contrast to Norris, will not be integrated into the team before making his debut, which is one of the most significant differences between the two players. Before being given the drive, Norris has already tested for McLaren and participated in the Friday practice sessions. He then racked up additional miles ahead of the preseason. There is no assurance that Piastri's move to McLaren would be fruitful in any way, but considering that the efforts made by both McLaren and Ricciardo to make it work have been fruitless, one could argue that McLaren had nothing to lose by making a move. The only thing they would lose is the money for Ricciardo's payoff. It should come as no surprise that McLaren does not see it in that light. The emphasis is placed on the enormous potential possessed by the Norris-Piastri combination. It is quite unlikely that McLaren will be victorious in any races in 2023. Still, by the time Piastri is operating at full capacity in 2024, it is anticipated that the Woking team will have produced a more competitive machinery. What are your thoughts on Piastri's debut season with McLaren? Should Red Bull have gone for the Australian driver? Let us know in the comments section below. That'll be all for today's video. Thanks for staying tuned. And please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell so that you can always get to watch more amazing videos just like this. See you in the next video. Bye!